What completely legal substance are you addicted to? Benadryl. A lifetime of adult insomnia led me to search for stronger sleep cocktails, and I took a Benadryl with melatonin. It got so bad I was up to a few every night, but happy to report now I am down to a half and going to go down to 0 soon. When I had a cold, I used this nasal spray that shrinks the blood vessels in the nose and makes it easier for you to breathe. It is an over-the-counter drugstore item and you don't need a prescription. Once you stop using it, your nose clogs up, or at least it feels like it, because you used to breathe like a superhero for a week. The longer you use, the worse the withdrawals are. I couldn't properly breathe without it, so I ended up using it for almost half a year. Edit. In case someone is interested, I kicked the habit by buying few standard saline, sodium chloride, spray. It's just salt water that helps clean and treat dryness in the nasal passages. I used one for a few weeks, and while I still had serious trouble breathing through my nose, it greatly helped. I also slept in an elevated position with like 3 pillows. It took me almost a month to feel like I was breathing well, but still not as well as I was with the other stuff. Doritos? I was a massive addict. I used to buy a couple whole boxes of them. I used to drive to Frito-Lay's to buy them directly from the factory because it was the only places where you could buy this much without people asking questions. What makes me stop was in one occasion I went to a Colmado, is pretty much a 7-Eleven or mini market here at Dom.Rep. Told the guy give me this just on Doritos. Was around 800 DPO, which is $14 US. One bag personal bag of Doritos is 25 DPO here. Around 30-something bags of Doritos? The guy looked at me and told me, damn. You just wiped my whole shelf. Now I need to call Frito-Lay's to bring me a couple boxes. I looked at the empty shelf. I was so embarrassed and disgusted of myself. On my way walking home I started to give them away to people. I kept like 3 bags, ate them, and since then I slowly were reducing my numbers of Doritos at weeks for the next couple months. I still love them, but I don't have the impulse anymore. Was liquor and sadness. Currently is Pokemon cards and a lot less sadness. Not great, but I see this as an absolute win. Potato chips. Salt and vinegar especially. I can eat entire family bags of them in a sitting. I've been making serious efforts to cut that out lately. I've been chip-free for almost a week. And yet the crisps call to me. Edit. Sweet mother of God, this post really exploded. To answer a lot of comments at once, I've been exposed to enough of them that my mouth barely reacts. I don't burn or tingle at all. Worst reaction is sometimes it gets a little dry, but besides that, I've built up an immunity to salt, apparently. And here's a fun tip: mix salt and vinegar with dill pickle. They balance each other really well. Oreos. I can knock down a sleeve before looking down. It only stops when the stomach pain sets in, and even if it subsides for a moment, that moment will be filled with an Oreo. Wow, thank you so much for the gold. I didn't expect this to take off. Your replies have been making me laugh for hours. Thank you again. Junk food. And, while not a substance, going to the store to buy the junk food is also an addiction I have. Time, as in staying up late, without any damn reason to. Edit. Christ, I didn't know that this was a problem for so many people. I'd like to add that I also hate napping, which doesn't help my situation, but I always seem to wake up feeling disoriented and scatterbrained. Chocolate. I gave up smoking years ago and substituted it with an addiction to chocolate. Potato chips. Can't have them around the house. I will never stop. Especially chicken twisties. Pork. Many people don't even know they are addicted until they try quitting. Food. This isn't a joke. It is 100% a real addiction. When you're almost 400 pounds and unhappy with yourself, your brain still convinces you unhealthy eating is the answer to happiness. That's a fucking addiction, but an addiction you need to feed into in order to survive. Imagine being addicted to meth, but you needed to take healthy, less potent meth 3x a day to live. It would be impossible to overcome. That's how I feel about food. Diet Coke. Hands down. It's a problem. Or maybe it's not. BRB getting some Diet Coke. Cheese. A good vintage cheddar, a bit of Gruyere, baked camembert. Pretty much any cheese is like crack to me. Marijuana. Completely 100% legal in Canada. Take it on a domestic flight if you like, but you can't smoke on the plane. Now I have no chemical addiction. I can go weeks or months without it and have zero effects. But damn if it isn't the thing that takes my muscle pain away and fast forwards boring pandemic lockdown evenings. It is a pleasure addiction like sex. Coffee. Now that is a chemical addiction. Plants. I talk to mine every single day and want to always grow more and more and more and more of them. My plants aren't even mine. Most are my friends. Him and his BF are gonna come get them when it gets warm, but actually I might fight them now cause they've become my babies.